Let me get my timer right so I don't keep you longer than I'm supposed to. All right, so first of all, it's always a pleasure to come here to Europe and talk to people here because it's different for me, and I'm hoping it's different for you, but maybe different in a good way. Because our perspectives sometimes are just different enough to be interesting. So what I want to talk about today is a couple of new developments over the last couple of years in the global BACnet community that are designed to support you in being successful in using BACnet. So I don't know about you, but this is the sort of thing I did as a kid growing up, right? I grew up in the country. And one of the things I found out is that you can walk across a log that's stretched across a stream, and it's not too hard. It's not even too scary. But 30 years later, at a leadership development course, I learned that that same log and walking across it 100 feet in the air is a whole different problem, especially if you don't get a screen. So let me see why the screen is off here.
This was the shutter.
Ah, that's why. If you push the wrong button, it shuts off. Just like if you take a misstep 100 feet in the air, you fall pretty hard. So you really don't want to walk across that log 100 feet in the air. In fact, it's really hard to because it's scary. Even if you have some support, it still feels scary, but at least with support, you know you're not going to hurt yourself when you fall, right? So I was thinking that this experience is not so different from taking on a new technology, right? Starting on a new technology feels a little scary, but it's really a good idea to have some support so that you don't fall. And support in the context of BACnet comes from the global community, right? The big EU here in Europe directly, local BACnet communities in individual countries and regions. BACnet suppliers themselves are a huge resource to help you be sure and to be supported. And then BACnet International does the same thing. We try to provide infrastructure and tools to help people be successful with BACnet. So there are two resources I want to talk about while I'm here today. One of them is the BACnet Product Certification Program, and the other is the BACnet Institute. They're very different, but they're both designed to help you be successful with BACnet. So let me start with the certification program. The certification program is essentially taking the European BACnet Product Certificate Program that's been in place for probably 15 years now and expanding it globally through the merger of that program with the BTL listing program. So now there is one global program for product certification, and a product which has gone through that testing process by an independent laboratory can now get a certificate of conformance that you can use for submittals, as well as a BTL listing, and the right to put the BTL mark on the physical product. So all of those things now that have been true in Europe for years are now globally valid in a global network of tests and manufacturers. Now for users, this provides a number of benefits. One, the assurance that the product that you're buying is in fact tested independently to the highest testing standards the community's been able to develop for interoperability around BACnet products. A lot of that saves you individual vendor qualification efforts because you know those products have already been tested, at least to the level of conformance. That reduces your system implementation time because when you get a product in a system and you're trying to integrate and debug, if that product doesn't work right, it's a huge investment in time and money to figure out which product, where on the network is not working. If you use tested products, you have fewer of those problems. And then my favorite benefit is this one. Most systems that are installed don't use all the features that the products have because you don't do that with your first install. But later on, when you want to expand the system or extend it and add more capabilities, you need to use features that were not used in the initial install and therefore were not tested in the first commissioning. It'd be really nice if those features actually worked when you went to do it. Product conformance testing assures those features were tested if they're in the product, whether you use them or not in the first install. So you're future-proofing your installation by using certified products. And last but not least, as a user, you can find all these 800 or 900 tested products in one global listing. Of course, the certification program is beneficial to suppliers as well as to users. Right? First of all, it helps your customer, and anything that helps your customer helps you as a supplier. But it also reduces that risk of system integration, because when there's a problem on a site, all the suppliers in a multi-supplier system need to jump into it and deal with it. So the fewer of those there are, the better. So it's in all the suppliers' interests to make sure that all products globally are tested and certified. And of course, when your products are tested and certified, they will show up in the global registry. So they're visible to potential customers, perhaps prospects you don't even know about. So that's an overview of the new certification program that's built around the existing programs we've had for many years. Let me spend a minute talking about another really exciting new resource to help you be successful in implementing BACnet. So the BACnet Institute was launched about a year ago. It's launched as a no-charge online portal of education, information, and community around BACnet to help people get the most out of BACnet, to get everything out of it that they deserve to get out of it. So let me talk to you just for a minute about the different parts of that portal. One part of the portal is on-demand, self-paced learning programs, right, on-demand coursework. The first course, called BACnet Basics, was launched about a year ago. About 1,000 people have taken it now. It's a couple of hours of online training, but it's self-paced. You can take it when you want. You can start it and then stop it and come back in a couple days and pick up where you left off and finish it. But it covers a lot of important basic topics around BACnet, starting with the value proposition. When you want to do BACnet, sometimes you need to explain to other people who don't know BACnet why you should do that. This course will help you understand those business case issues and present them. It also helps you understand the different things BACnet can do for you, and therefore how you can get the most out of it. There's a section of it that talks about how to specify BACnet so that what you get is what you wanted. And then there's a couple of sessions that deal with learning from the experience of people who've done it before. So all of those are part of this online course that's available to you for free. And when you're done with the course, if you want to go through the mastery test, you can get a frameable certificate that you can use back in your own organizations to demonstrate that you've completed the course successfully. There's a second course being developed now, and there'll be a third course by the end of the year. So we want to build out a set of courses to help the whole community be more successful in applying BACnet successfully. The second part of the BACnet Institute is an information resource, right? It's a curated library of multimedia resources that you can access to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish with BACnet. So there are white papers, there are conference presentations, and part of the value of it is that it's curated, but it's also tagged. So you can filter things the way you want to filter them. So if you want to see just things that are meant for experts, you can see the expert things. If you're more a beginner and you want to see the things that are just for beginners, you can do a filter on beginners. Or maybe you want to filter on lighting. Or maybe you want to filter very narrowly on VFDs. You can filter on whatever you want so that you get this very tailored set of information that you can select from to do what you want to do. And it's constantly being updated. I think there are 5 or 6 new videos just in the last couple of months, along with conference presentations from the AHR show in North America in January. The third part of the BACnet Institute has to do with the community itself and interacting among each other, right? So an awful lot of what's made BACnet successful over the years has been people in the community helping people in the community. So the BACnet Institute has a whole section that's targeted at helping people do that successfully. We call it the community section, and right now there are 2 parts to that form. One part is tied specifically to asking a question and getting a complete answer, right? It's called Ask the Expert. When you submit a question to Ask the Expert, it's taken to a panel of experts who discuss it among themselves, come up with a consensus answer, and it's posted back to the forum where you can see it. So if you have a fundamental question or a user with, I'm not quite sure how to apply this technology or where to use it, you can ask that question and be sure you're getting back an expert answer that you don't have to decipher, because several experts have already put it together for you. There's another forum we call the technical forum, where you can put in an issue or a topic and have a discussion among everyone in the community about that topic, and anyone can contribute to it. So you might get 5 or 6 different answers to your question, from a variety of different people, and you can sort through yourself and decide which of those answers is more relevant to you or more pertinent to the question you were trying to resolve. So we have both kinds of forums to suit two different sets of people's needs. And the forums themselves are archived. So you can search the forum on topics of interest to you. If for some obscure reason you're interested in BBMDs, and I don't know why you ever would be, but if you were, you can search for BBMD and find 5 years' worth of conversations about that topic by technical experts. That searchability and moderated forum provides an environment for users of BACnet to be successful in helping each other. You know your contributions are useful because you can see them right there, and as a user you can ask questions and see the contributions you get from other people. At the moment, that has about a 5-year archive of questions, so there's a pretty good database already of questions that have been answered or at least discussed in the technical forum. So if you're looking at applying BACnet, whether it's your first time or your 10th time, you don't have to go it alone, right? You don't have to walk across that log up in the sky by yourself. You can have support. Right? I'd encourage you to take advantage of, make full use of the certification program. Whether you're a supplier or a user, it helps you be successful. It helps you and your partners be successful. So I would strongly encourage that. And I'd encourage you to join the BACnet Institute community. Take a look at the resources available on the information side. If you're fairly new to BACnet, take the BACnet Basics course. It's a great way to make sure you have a comprehensive initial understanding of BACnet and the things it can do for you. I guess in summary, I would say you don't have to go it alone. Be a part of the community. Thank you.
Andy, thank you very much. Are there any questions? Now's your chance. And pose your questions to Andy McMillan, the president of BACnet International.
Yes.
To apply for a BTL certificate,
yes.
Is that possible for also system integrators that OEM a BACnet product?
Yes, in fact, it's much simpler because if the OEM product is already listed, for an OEM version of it to be listed is much easier.
And that's simply filling out a form and send it to you, or is there?
There's no testing required, but there is a form and a fee, that's all.
Okay, okay, thank you.